What's up everybody, it's Coach JB with HoopStudy, and today we are doing a film study on JJ Redick. Whether it was his time at Duke crushing the competition or when he was in high school, JJ Redick was known as one of the best shooters. In this video we're going to focus on his time with the Philadelphia 76ers, as this is when he averaged the most amount of points. Let's get it. Alright, so I broke down JJ's offense from that season, and I found that 32.4% of the time he was using a dribble handoff. And we're going to have that be our main focus from this video, but at the same time we're still going to look at some other great things that he did in order to be successful in his career. So for those of you who are wondering how I found these statistics, essentially what I did was set a random filter on the video editing service that I use, and basically now I'm able to look at all of his actions throughout the season in a random fashion, so this way it's not showing anything that was scouted or lined up against any specific team. These are just actions that they used to help him be more successful. Alright, so the first thing that I noticed was they really enjoyed using the zoom action, and we'll talk about what that is. But the other part was when he did get a dribble handoff, a lot of the times it was in the slot and wing area. So let's start off by talking about the zoom action. So the athlete that's highlighted is JJ Redick, and he's going to get the zoom action. And the zoom is simply a screen for the player who's coming off for a dribble handoff. Now, one thing that I really like about this action is it reminds me a lot of the Ram screen. And the Ram screen is simply when the offense screens for the person who is going to set an on-ball screen. This helps prevent the defense from hedging ball screens and giving the ball handler more space to work. So if we look at this first clip, you're going to see this happen. So here's the first screen occurring, and now they're going to come up and set a screen for the ball handler, and it puts the help defense out of position. So again, just like the Ram screen, we're going to see that first screen and then the dribble handoff. And what it's doing is forcing the defense to get out of position. Here you can see that he gets it and then throw it back to the screener and follow it to get another dribble handoff. So really he's moving at all points in time, and it's forcing the defense to make adjustments.
The Spurs have won 28 of the last 30 home games against the Sixers.
Back up to Joel Embiid. Embiid coming off an excellent game scoring-wise the other night. JJ.
Now, one skill that I did notice a trend with is that whenever he was curling up towards the three-point line, he dribbled with his outside hand. So if he was pulling a three or getting up towards the three-point line, he was dribbling with his outside hand when he caught the basketball. But when he was in the elbow area and he was doing a tight pin down or a tight action, it was always his inside hand that he was dribbling with. So I encourage you to try this in your game and see how it works out for you. Our next category is showing his hands. He's always showing his hands, letting his teammates know, hey, hit me, I'm open, or here's the target that you need to hit me at. And you'll notice how efficient this makes him. As soon as he catches the ball, he can either go up or make a move. Notice again, showing his hands, and then he's able to go straight into his shot.
They're 3 for 14 so far from behind the arc. Close out there on JJ Redick. Redick finds himself open.
Execution offensively for Milwaukee, although they don't score, Redick's right back at.
Now I know we're breaking all these different skills down, but one thing you'll notice is he uses them all the time. And next up we have blind cuts. Here you'll notice the defender has his vision away from JJ Redick. So what he's going to do is cut into the open space and get his shot up. And if we look at that clip again, you're going to notice he's watching the defender, and then he shows his hands and he makes that cut into the open area. Again, looking at the next clip, check out the defender. They're watching the basketball. This is a mistake that a lot of athletes make, so use that to your advantage. Show your hands, cut into the open area, and you're able to get your shot up.
Redick, long two.
Moving without the basketball is up next, and it's an absolute nightmare when it comes to JJ. Understand that he's a shooter, so you're trying to follow him everywhere, and he always is using some off-ball movements to get open. I couldn't imagine guarding him, but he's using different skills. He's sprinting to areas, he's pushing off with his hands a little bit to get a little bit of separation from the defender. So it's not just coming off of screens. It's not just beating people off the bounce. Sometimes it's actually using your body to cut and move into the open areas without the ball. And understand, once you're able to knock down that shot, now you can utilize the shot fake. And understanding how to use it is important. Look how far away the defender is here. They're going to be sprinting out to the shooter. So he's going to give that shot fake and then dribble back in the direction that they came from. And we're going to see it in our next clip as well. Here shows his hands, shot fake, dribble back into the area the defender came from. And it's just almost impossible to guard this if you use it correctly.
That's Jonathan Simmons. J.J. Redick off the dribble.
An elite group of players that you can never take away. I don't know if I'll ever win a championship.
Redick, long two.
Now, one last category that I wanted to talk about, and it's not common, is time with the basketball. So I broke down the amount of time that he possessed the basketball and the amount of dribbles he took. And I broke this down for every single action. And I found that overall, he only had the basketball in his hands for 1.01 seconds. And he took 0.7 dribbles. So the majority of the time when the ball was in his hand, he didn't even take a dribble. Even with his highest categories of pick and roll and dribble handoff were still less than 3 seconds and only 2.3 dribbles and 1.1 dribbles. That's outrageous. That's making decisions efficiently. And think about it this way. As a defender, if you had to guard that, you had on average 1 second to make sure that you're closing out and contesting his jump shot. That means if you get hit by a screen and you're a second behind him, the ball's already going to the basket. All right, so let's review some of the things that we talked about. JJ did a great job of showing his hands, so try to do that as well. When you're moving around on the court, show your hands, let your teammates know that you're open. Move without the basketball. You don't have to have the basketball in your hands to get open. Try using an inside hand dribble when coming off of tight pin downs. Utilize the shot fake, and remember, if you shot fake it, dribble back to the area that they came from, and then keep it efficient. Remember his outrageous statistics that we talked about with how long he had the ball in his hands and how many dribbles he took. While being able to dribble the ball and control it is important, it doesn't mean it's the only thing. You can be efficient with your dribbling and score without taking 4 and 5 dribbles and 5 different combo moves. So let's finish off this video by watching some live clips of JJ and try to look for the skills that we talked about in this video.
45. Spurs again matching their largest lead. Redick.
Yes, but to your point, one reason why the defense has
Seemed unsure about his position on the court, his role, and didn't have the confidence that
Simmons was open on a cut to the back.
Donovan Mitchell continued. Redick. Yeah, that kept him out for most of the year.
Redick fires again to his team. Last year they started 14 and 18. Here's Redick with him.
The volleyball play, it's taken by the Sixers. JJ.
Find a way to get back in this and not think about catching up later.
Nice closeout there on J.J. Redick. Redick finds himself open.
That's Jonathan Simmons. J.J. Redick off the